5:45 a.m. My brother and I are at the Lone Pine Trailhead, just north of the Four Peaks. And we're getting ready to do the whole traverse of the Four Peaks today. There's a look at Browns Peak up there. Here's another look at Browns Peak. We aren't too far from the saddle at all, and then we'll decide if we want to go up to Browns first or head south and finish with Browns. Well, after a long debate, we decided we're going to go south first. So we think the Amethyst Mine Trail is right here. It's not marked. There's a look back at the saddle. Browns Peak is up here, and then we were probably at the base of Brother Peak now, which I think is up here. We just came around the bend, and here is Sister Peak, so we have to go around the west ridge on Sister Peak, and then we should be at the Amethyst Mine, hopefully not too far after that. We came around the bend and there's the mine, not too far, and then we'll just head straight up between the two peaks above the mine. We just climbed about 200 feet. We're taking a little break, just checking out the scenery here in the canyon. Really impressive the way the rock is here. That's looking above me the other way. Pretty much straight up. That's a pretty neat rock right there, just jutting out. It's really steep here. All right, we made it to the saddle up here between Sister Peak and Amethyst Peak. So Amethyst Peak is to our south. We'll get started up there in a few minutes. Just taking a little break here. Well, there's a look at the other three peaks. We're on either the fourth one or the first one, depending on which way you go. Amethyst Peak here, and this is the view looking north. So there's Sister Peak, Brother Peak, and then Browns, the highest one and the furthest one back. Try to take our time anyway, pick out the correct route, or at least the best route up to all three of these. Hardest part's going to be between Sister and Brother Peak. There's a pretty big descent and then a high climb, but we shouldn't have too much of a descent and climb over to Sister Peak there. So there's the summit of Amethyst Peak up there. We're a little bit past the saddle, and probably we're going to start climbing a little bit more soon here. And then we came up through here. This is the east face of Sister Peak. We're going to try to get up to the ridge up here. Well, we made a little mistake of going too far west, at least in terms of time used up. It wasn't that long, but I think the general rule on this is just to stay to the east more, so that's what we're going to do. We'll definitely stay to the east now, but I think from here we should have a pretty straight shot up this ravine here, gap, and then that should lead up to the summit, hopefully. All right, we're on the summit of Sister Peak. We messed up. We could have made it a lot easier, but we went a long way, but no big deal. It's going to get a little tougher now. Hopefully we can pick out a good route down here, but we're going to try to stay as east as we can and hopefully find something that's doable in the least amount of time. And we came from over there, climbed up from down there, so we went around that sub point, but we didn't have to. Well, there's Sister Peak up there. We decided to take a long way around, so we basically came down one of the ravines, canyons down here, worked our way over to here. A lot of thick vegetation. It's been pretty tough, but I think we should have a more straightforward approach up to Brother Peak. So we'll stay to the east more and make our way up to the rocks, up this way. Okay, there's the summit of Browns Peak. Pretty crowded, but we came up from this direction. Actually, we checked out the ridge first over in that direction just to make sure we could get down over there, and we think it's doable. It should be okay. If we have to drop a little lower, we will, but we're gonna head over to Browns Peak now. Pretty beat. I'm gonna get some more views from the summit of Browns. All right, we made it to the summit of Browns Peak, peak number 4. Down off the summit a little bit, just trying to stay out of the wind. It's calmed down a little bit now. I'll get a panoramic view as much as I can from up at the top. There's people up there too. Just looking back on all 4. Pretty windy up here now, but there's a view of the peaks. Humphreys Peak is out in that direction. I'm not going to try to zoom in. It's not too visible. We're heading back down now. We're going to get back as quickly as we can, but still take it as easy as we need to. We're both pretty beat. Quite a challenge for sure, and we still have to make it 2.6 or so miles back, but that's all trailed from here. Just making our way down the trail. We don't have too much further to go. Probably less than a mile. So Browns Peak is up there. And here's a nice look out at Roosevelt Lake. Water is so appealing right now. You don't know how much. I am so thirsty. I have some left still, but I'm just saving it till we get back. And then I have some in the car, and then we're gonna stop at a gas station because we need to get gas. And the biggest, cheapest drinks we can find. All right, Patrick and I made it back to the trailhead. It was 10.9 miles, over 5,000 feet of elevation gain total. And definitely one of the hardest hikes we have both ever done for sure. We kind of wish we were better climbers or more comfortable climbing, because we probably could have made it a little shorter, staying as close to the ridge as possible, but we decided to play it safe and just take the longer but safer route, down and up to each peak pretty much. All right. Well, we made it anyway. That was the 4 peaks. We're back, and definitely one of the more challenging hikes we've done.